Thank you. How do you feel? Well, more or less. Any question?
I'll ask a couple and then we'll pass it on to the public.
Okay.
If I think that it might be helpful to put it in context. We are organizing this, the Italian Cultural Center is trying to show a different Italy, that it's not just Rome, Venice, and Florence. So let's start maybe with Catania. This is set in Catania. Generally, Sicily is all about Palermo, at least abroad, but this is set in Catania.
Yeah.
Can you tell us something about that?
But the city is it's like there is Davide, the main courses, no, and there is the music, and there is the city, because Catania it's a very strange city because it's a very schizophrenic. In the same way, it's very conservative. It's a very Catholic city, but in the same time, it's the oldest gay community was born in the southest part of Europe. For example, during the fascism, all the gay people were confined in a little island, and 80% of that people, that community, comes from Catania. So it's the city is very rich. In the middle, in the downtown, there is a area, a red light area, lucidos, and it's like another contradiction because in the same time it's super Catholic and no tolerant at all. So it was like was very nice to try to talks about this and talks about the Davide story in the same time. For example, with the scenographer, we didn't change the city. The city is like exactly the same. You have the sensation that the times was stopped because I suppose there is something like oldest, no, typical from the 80s. So one mission was to talk, of course, about Davide, but in the same times about the city.
So I don't think that most people know, but this is it is taken from a true story, really.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Inspired by a friend of mine, adolescent, and you saw the real Davide because the real Davide now is 48 years old, and in the movie played in the role of Louvre, the drag queen. We lived in the same building in Rome, and I met her during the university, and we were in the same airplane. The seat was closed, and we started to talk about him, and I found on his story all the dramaturgic elements that I need to make a movie, and little by little, we in 4 years we made it, because it was not easy to try to talk about his story, his adolescence, because of course the homosexuality is considered a problem, and for make a movie now in Italy you need to have the public money, because nobody invests. There is no private people that invest in cinema or in this kind of cinema. In that sense, is a paradox, because the committee of the censor is part of the Ministry of Art. So firstly, they gave me the money, and after that, they stop it. They try to censor it. But it's not so strange, because in the in the censor committee there are 5 people, and one of these is a priest.
Priest.
Yeah. So when at that point, my producer and the distributor fight with them, because they li minacciarono, come si può dire?
They threaten them.
Threat them, because it was a scandalous, it was a paradox. In that way, maybe, probably in another way, they convinced to reduce the censor from 18 to 14 people hold.
the age.
age. Yeah.
And how about, let's talk a little bit about how the story is narrated. You know, the music plays a lot of part. There's a lot of silence. There's not a lot of dialogue. The point of view, it's like, you know, in between. And would
But
you say so?
firstly, yeah. Firstly, the movie, all the movie during 1 hour plus. The distributor forced me to cut 1 hour because in Italy you generally don't distribute movie that during more than 1 hour and a half.
That last more than an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I wrote again the story during the editing, and that way I discovered how sometimes we, but generally in the cinema or like in TV there are too much words. So in that sense, I try to modify the structure of the movie, and I make many experiment, many tests, like to try to see the effect of that scene without the sound. For example, firstly, the scene where Davide talks to her mother, no, in the bus, there was the voice,
Ah.
but I felt that was much more powerful without that, because in that way probably you give to the viewers the opportunity to create the own movie and use imagination, and probably in that way I suppose it's like a triangle between me, with the movie, and the viewers. It's and every single viewers in that way as a singular personal movie and meaning. So it was a little bit hard firstly, and then when the movie was invited to Cannes, nobody expect this, of course, and they invite me to try to make the second part of the movie, like to shoot 10 years later, no, some of them. But for me, the story it's enough. It's this. It's it was important to talk about freedom, and I think I hope the movie did it.
I think so. Yeah. Let's. It's very difficult to see here. Can we have the lights on the public if anybody, or just because it's I can't see if
There is a question.
if I
over
open
there.
the. There's a question there. Okay. Yeah. Do you think you can scream?
Yes, I've got a loud voice.
Oh, good.
Before I ask my question,
Yep.
I'd just like to thank you first for an incredibly beautiful, complex, emotional, powerful film.
Wow.
But here's,
Thank you.
but here's my question. My partner thinks that this film is far from optimistic. That's not the way I took it. And I'm wondering what you intended, because to me, what it showed us was an incredibly, an indomitable spirit in Davide. And so it's very optimistic. And his cry, or her cry of rage at the end, is the cry of a survivor. So it didn't depress me. I thought it was beautiful. What was your intention?
Thank you very much. It's thank you. But I think in this kind of end, it's a problem, because generally you want like to see what's happening after that, no? But we during the writing with the script writers, we thought it was not honest to wrote a different ending, because in the real life people like Davide doesn't have a good end. So that scream is a symbol. I think in some way it's a optimistic symbol, because firstly probably you think he can't speak anymore, he doesn't have voice anymore, but in the end that scream for me it's a symbol of a fight. That we try to squarciare il velo di silenzio che generalmente caratterizza la vita di queste persone. But probably some Italians.
They tried to just break the thin sheet of silence that generally surrounds these people. So the silence around them with that scream, somehow it was broken, it was opened up.
But of course, many people was a little bit upset with this kind of decision because you want to know what something more about him, about his family probably too.
I would have loads of questions about his family, but please, any more questions from the public? Yes, here in the front.
I'll ask an Italian first and I'll translate.
But you will have to scream, Caterina.
Sebastiano, pensavo
No.
è più buio di mezzanotte, ma in realtà è più atroce di mezzogiorno, nel senso che il ruolo della luce e del bianco, che è anche una caratteristica del sud e di Catania, questa luce riflessa nei palazzi, eccetera, tutte le scene diciamo emotivamente più forti succedono alla luce e non al buio, tranne forse alla fine dove, appunto, come hai detto tu, l'urlo avviene nella luce. E niente, volevo sapere questo gioco che tu hai fatto con la luce.
Now you have to translate in English, my dear. I'm not going to go through all that.
Well, the title is Darker Than Midnight, but as a matter of fact, I would say that the most deep and maybe harmful scenery are in the light, in the daylight, and especially this light that is a very southern light, and it's reflected in the buildings of Catania. And this goes throughout the movie, also in the dresses of the clothes of people dressed in white, that you have the fear in white in a way. Apart from the very ending, as you were saying, where the scream happens in a white atmosphere.
I don't know if you heard up there, but we're talking about the contrast between the light and the dark, the fact that the movie is entitled Darker Than Midnight, but in reality the darkest and more dramatic scenes happen during the day, and there's this really strong contrast between the light in a city like Catania, where all the buildings, the structure of the building, the stone which with the building are built reflect that light, while the contrast with the really stark scenes is there.
Ma effettivamente, yeah, firstly, the Sicily is like a good location to make movies, in a lot of big successful movie, Montalbano, and a lot of stuff, Godfather, but this is the light, the Sicily, the official face of Sicily country. Is deleted because the official face is a very the machist face, a hypocrite face, where it's like a amazing island where the people walk without shoes and the beach is clean and everything is perfect. But it's not true, because that island now is a very hard place where to live. And when we decide to talk about this story, we found many interesting characteristics, like how the Italian society, and above all the society in the south of Italy, is very divided in the morning and during the night. People like Davide can only go outside during the night, because during the morning in the official phase only the traditional family can go around. And it's funny because in that sense, Davide and Davide's friends go to have sex. They are prostitutes with married men. So of course, you have to keep in the same time a straight face, to your family, to everybody's, and do all the rest and follow your sexuality with the dark, where the people cannot see you and cannot judge you. So in the same, we try to communicate this characteristic, because of course all of you knows how Italy is the only one country in Europe where it's not possible to be married with with a same sex. But it's not only that. It's when the movie was ready, a very famous Italian journalist said that I describe Baghdad, no Italy, no Sicily. That Sicily is not like that anymore. And I think this kind of lie is very bad, and it's very dangerous, because is a, that man is a journalist, and if you read a newspaper for a week, of course you read a lot of teenagers that suicide themselves because they are gay or are victim of abuse. But the people don't consider it. It's not important. So of course it's another paradox. But the movie is still not now anymore, but worked very well in Paris, in France. Was distributed there, and they showed this movie to the teenagers because it was considered educativo.
Educational, yeah.
In Italy, was censored for them. So it's strange. Why? Two countries so close judge the same movie in a opposite way. The movie in Italy worked only for few weeks, and now there is no the DVD is not available, and it starts something very funny for me, because the people cannot find the movie at the DVD, but there is a lot of they pirate, so there is a lot of streaming. And if you try to find it, that movie is in many streaming site webs. So it's a movie like this in Italy is a problem. Only thanks to the film festival is still alive. Only because Bertolucci talks about this movie, Moretti, Bellocchio, many big Italian directors support it. And not because they know me, but just because they saw the movie. And only thanks to them, thanks to the festival, thanks to you, and the movie is still alive. Because for the Italian distributor, the movie was dead.
Yes, please.
First of all, congratulations.
You will need to talk a little bit louder.
Congratulations for the movie.
Thank you.
And so many questions. First one, what was your objective with this movie? What do you want to show the world? What message do you want to show the world with this movie? And second, did you have, apart from the censorship, of course, did you have any more problems with this movie, making this movie?
I don't know if you heard the question. The question was what sort of other problems you had apart from the censorship in Italy, and also what was the message that Sebastiano wanted to communicate to the world with the movie?
But of course, the message is freedom, because in this case, he's a transgender, 14 years old, but was the same if he was gypsy or migrants or people with a problem, handicap, or migrants. It was the same. I mean, like un expediente.
A way, an experience.
Yeah. So our mission was like to talk about freedom, because it's. I think the movie. I hope this message is clear to everybody. And then was hard during the shooting, during the first week, because of course the la troupe, come si dice? The crew make laugh about of the actors, and the people in the street judge them, scream bad words. But little by little was funny, because firstly the crew It was sensibilized, sensitized, and after that, the crew start to defend the actors.
So first they teased them, and then
Yeah,
they started defending
exactly.
them.
Yeah. The problem, the real problem was after when the movie was ready, because you know when a movie like this is in a country like mine is ready is a problem, and the producer he received a lot of many bad emails um, for the meaning of the movie.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah. Probably that part was the most difficult. But it's not a sad story because I said before, one day, like when the movie was in the theater, I received a call, I answered it, and it was Bertolucci. Firstly, I thought it was like a joke, of course, and he said, "Please come to my home. I want to see your movie and I want to talk to you." So this movie gave me a lot of possibilities. Helped me to make the second one with other countries too. Because for a director like me, but probably for many Italians that are there are now here, to live in Italy and to work in Italy is not easy. So this movie for me is a miracle, is a gift.
Give you freedom. Gave you freedom.
Yeah. I talk about freedom and give me more freedom. Yeah, it's true. More questions?
Any more questions?
How many actors have seen before to choose the main actor? Because I think it's marvelous. Davide is a very nice person, even in the life. I think it's very good actor also. And I'm curious to know how many actors have you seen?
I don't know if you heard the question. The question was how many actors did Sebastiano had to did he have to see? Yes, yes.
But that part, I spent 2 years to find him.
2 years.
2 years, and I saw no casting, but I saw something around 8,000 kids. Was a nightmare. It was horrible. The producer was really upset with me. He tried to kill me. It, like he said, okay, now this is your last month, so you have to find him, or we don't make the movie. I thought I need to go to Palermo because I know Palermo is full of many interesting faces, and when I arrived there, the first day I saw him on his school because I make a mistake. For 2 years I thought I was waiting. I wait for him, but a person like Davide never present for make a casting. Of course, he's a really is a very dignity, not dignity, but he's a very shy. Person, and he's not an actor. Yeah, he's a very good actor, and but what is funny that he's a singer. He's studying music, so he has confidence with interpretation. No? So in that sense, probably he was and I was lucky because we make everyday training. 1 month before to start with the movie with the shoot. But not about the word or about the intention, but just to try to make him comfortable. Because when I met him, he was shy to be transgender. Because Davide, she now becoming he becomes she. It's a him 12. Live only with her mother because his father is a criminal. He doesn't live with them anymore and fugitive. So he is a really brave guy because he was really 14 years old.
Mm.
So I worked in that sense to make him sicurezza, secure, safety, yeah,
Secure.
safety. I was in Cannes. My movie is a very little movie compared with the big millionaire movies that are presented in Cannes, of course. But what's funny because the photographer all around Cannes stop Davide all the time. No, like of course, the popular actors too, but they really stop him all the time because his face is incredible. For me, when I saw him, it was like for me, I recognize him.
Mm. I really like his hair, and I was as soon as I saw him the first time, I immediately thought of Orlando, Tilda Swinton in Orlando.
Yeah, there is something.
And I thought, my God.
But the new, I don't remember, maybe a newspaper, I don't remember from where, thought in the same page the picture of Tilda Swinton and Davide.
Ah, okay.
With the question, maybe Tilda has a secret son, because
yes,
they look very similar,
Mm.
and but in the same time, Davide reminded me Jim Morrison. There is something of Jim Morrison. There is something of David Bowie. Maybe the color, but it's so thin. But in the same time, it's so powerful. But like person.
On that note, I think of Jim Morrison and David Bowie. We'll just finish, and we'll just well, you know that there is an Italian pop party soon after, so please join me thanking Sebastiano for the lovely interview, the beautiful movie we just see. It's a stunning beginning for the Italian Film Festival. So, and then join us for the Italian pop party in a couple of minutes.
Thank you.